Good afternoon, Chief. Merry Christmas next week. I'll probably be late, so Merry Christmas. Today is show and tell. I spent yesterday gathering up some stuff, and then as more as I got involved, I found more and more stuff. I didn't collect too much, but it's going to look like I got a lot here, but I don't. Like I said, I only did a 2-year tour, so let's start off with that. My spouse, right after we got married, she decided that since she had one of these, that, I should have one of these sports type jacket that everybody got. So mine is Defenders of Freedom, map showing the 4 sectors of Berlin and then Germany in 1987 to 1988. Didn't wear it all that much. Didn't really have an occasion because basically we were told don't identify yourself as an American. So first off, that identifies yourself as American, especially if you wear it in Berlin. So even after that, didn't really have the occasion to wear it. We used to go down to the Europa Center because it's got a water clock in there. I don't know if it's still working or not. I didn't look. But they had a nice wood store, and I love wood. This is all a puzzle. So, he had all kinds of animals, all kinds of creatures, and I can't put it back together. And I'm a Leo, so I, of course, got myself a nice lion. And like I said, he had everything. I wish I had more time to purchase a lot, but I didn't. When we went to Frankfurt, one of our trip to Frankfurt, when, like I said, we went to the family reunion, I was looking through one of the little kiosks and they had cards. And I fell in love with this deck. It says it's Baroque. You can play whist, bridge, rummy, and canasta. Of course, I just had to look up whist because I never heard of that game. And it's a precursor to bridge. As a matter of fact, yeah, it's the precursor to bridge. You played whist before it. But like I said, I fell in love with the deck. Watch me drop them again. And got a red backing on one suit, and then the other suit that I didn't open is blue. So got these in '87. And I never have played with them. Oops, there I go. I just dropped one. But there's the Joker. It even says Jolly Joker on it. And I got 3 of them. One says Joker, one's got a red star, and one's got a black star to help you signify it. And then there's the King of Diamonds. All the queens are gorgeous. The set is made in Vienna. Leaving. Had to pick up the Ace of Spades of all the cards to drop. So this is a real nice deck. Like I said, I've never had played with it. It's complete 4 suits. And it says it's made in Vienna, Germany, or Vienna, Austria. So it's really nice. And then while I was also looking at that card deck, I bought this card deck. It's a card deck for playing scat. Never have played scat. It's the national card game of Germany. But the reason I bought it is because the artist is Mordillo. I think it's how it's spelled. And I had a huge puzzle of his because back in the late 70s, early 80s, he would make these fantastic, crazy scenes like something you'd see out of like a Mad magazine, just chaos inside this. And I had a surgery while I was in Berlin, so I bought one of his puzzles, and then I actually did it before my recovery was over with, so I was quite surprised that I knocked it out that quick. Because we had a huge apartment where we lived, me and the missus lived. We lived in the British sector of Berlin, which was really nice. Nice apartment. I don't know if I've talked about it before or not. But we lived on the ground floor. Yes, the ground floor. You don't say first floor. First floor is the floor above. So you got the ground floor and the first floor. So we lived in the ground floor, which was really nice. Had a lovely courtyard out front. It still had the arch where the horse-drawn or the horse carriages could come into the courtyard. And it was a real nice place. Don't know how to play scat. Obviously, it's played with just the ace, and then the 7 through the king, and of course their jack, Queen King is, yeah, can't even hold these right. So, yep, screwed that up again. Not doing so good. Should have practiced beforehand. But they're Jack, Queen, King are D, B, or B, D, and K, which is kind of funny because Ritter, R-I-T-T-E-R, is knight, so I don't know why. Like I said, never played scat. And this one still got the price tag on it, which is really amazing because, as I said, I was over there. I think it got as low as high 15 and high 18. So I paid in Deutschmarks $7.95. So basically, I bought this for a little over 50 cents. And our barracks where we lived on, before we moved out, I went exploring one time because we had basements underneath the barracks buildings, and this was in the first wing I lived in. I lived in 2 wings because we split up the company or something like that, or we split up the tricks. Did something, so I had to move from one to another because I got put in a different trick. So I was exploring, like I said, the basement. I found this abandoned office. It was abandoned. There was dust everywhere, and found this re-up cup from Berlin. It says on it, it's got the same symbol you just saw, I think, on the jacket, but it says Fill Station Berlin 1985. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. I wasn't there in 1985, unfortunately. I was there in 87 to 88, as you saw on my jacket. There's the other side of the cup. Take your time. So it's a cool mug. It had a layer of green stuff that was probably once coffee in it. So I cleaned it up and I used it for a while. Now it's my sugar bowl because I get sugar packets. Of course, every post generally has its little novelties or gift shop. So I identified with Pepe Le Pew at such a young age. Had this lovely blue shirt, still got it. Don't know if it fits. Probably does because I bought it oversized because this was my sleep shirt. So Pepe Le Pew, Your Place or Mine, Berlin, Germany, and of course it says Andrew Barracks. That's where I lived. I think I talked about Andrew Barracks, the former barracks for the German military. And had a hoodie, had a complete set. Of course, you always wear out the bottoms first. Let's see. Of course, it's got to be on the crease. So this one also says Andrew's Barracks on the sleeve. I look at it. I didn't try it on. It would probably be very snug for me right now if I tried it on. So, but I still got it. I got the Andrew's Barracks from the leg somewhere. And then, like I said, I went to on the duty train, and I got some blank ones. And these are movement orders that we had to get filled out. These are unfilled out, and I got a whole bunch of them. And this is what you had to fill out to get permission to ride on the duty train. And it's self-explanatory. It's got your name. It's in 4 languages: English, French, Russian, and I said 4. Okay, there's 3. Because it's really not in German. No, I don't. It could be in German. No, just 3. So it's French, English, Russian. And then Raymond E. Haddock was the Major General, U.S. Army, U.S. Commandant at the time. And that's his stamp on the back of the order. So he's also signed it on the front. So these were mass produced. So every time you wanted to ride the duty train, I need the movement orders. Like I said, I got a bunch of blank ones. They were given to me after Berlin shut down because they were like any other time. You throw things away. So there's a headquarters stamp. So we had to fill that out. And then once you got that filled out, you got this duty train booking office. And I actually got the one when my parents and me and the missus went to Holland. So this is what you had to get on the duty train, because it says for me, actually my wife got these because it's got her initial, and it says 3 members to Frankfurt. We were given 3 berths. Charlie 2, Charlie 3, Charlie 5, and Charlie 6. 3 for 4 people. Ha! And rail car 3, so it tells you where you sit. And then bottom sticker is back to Berlin. So we left Berlin, Germany on the 29th of September 1988, and we got back to Berlin on October the 4th, 1988. So we were gone almost a whole week. We had, like I said, we had fun on that trip to Holland. And then I guess that permission slip was stapled here. There was something stapled here, and then they put the label. So that was how you got on and off the train, or to and from. And then in 1987, my first year there, was already married, and the British invited me and the missus to their Boxing Day celebration. Boxing Day is the day after Christmas or the day before Christmas, and that's when the enlisted really cut it up. And this is really nice. It came in an envelope, and there's the DUI of the Signal Regiment. Here's the envelope. Whoops, losing things. Envelope is falling apart. But Allied Staff, Berlin, 7 December 1987, Central Registry. It came to Sergeant Skolton. So that means it came to the missus again. But then on the inside they said, "Dear Specialist." I was a specialist, she was a sergeant at the time. And it says, that was the 7th, but it was addressed the 3rd of December 1987 from the 3rd Squadron, 13th Signal Regiment, BFPO 45. And they penciled in, or they inked in, "Dear Specialist, you and your wife are cordially invited to attend a squadron Christmas draw. It is to be held at 2000 hours on the 15th December 1987 at the Airmen's Mess, and afterwards at the Air Bridge Club. A traditional English Christmas dinner in the Airmen's Mess will be followed by a disco and the draw in the Air Bridge Club. Tickets for the draw will be available on the night should you wish to participate. The dress for this occasion will be informal." That kind of surprised me. I thought maybe that they would have, dressed down dress uniform, but they didn't. And it says, "I look forward to welcoming you to the squadron's Christmas draw. Yours sincerely, and SI from Major S.I. Andrews." So it was nice. We had a good time. We also had to work that night. We were working the month of mids, as I mentioned before. So we were working the month of mids, so we had to be at work at midnight. Or somewhere around there, I can't remember. Well, I think we got there at midnight. And we took our uniforms with us. We had fun. We sat at a table with a British warrant officer. Now, the British warrant officers are still enlisted. When I become a warrant officer, I become an officer. So we sat with one of them, and this guy he just told story after story after story, and the wives were hilarious. I mean, if you ever engage with British people, you know how crazy they can get. And they got pretty wild. We couldn't drink too much because we had to go to work, and they were very disappointed that we had to leave. And I think we bought a couple tickets for the draw, as it said in the letter, and then we just basically gave those away to them and said, "Hey, if you win something, enjoy it." But we had a good time. They had party poppers. I think we wore crazy paper hats for a while until everybody got tired of them. And there was this craziness going on. I mean, we had a wonderful, wonderful time. And they tried to invite, I think, 2 or 3 couples from the Americans every year. And then last but not least, I got a card you're supposed to carry in your wallet or on your person while you're going about Berlin, is for your Saida. And from the 766 MI detachment. So on the back it says, Department of the Army, if you are approached, remember, 1, don't commit yourself to anything. 2, ask for time to think it over. 3, remember all the details about people, conversations, and locations. 4, don't investigate the incident yourself. 5, do not discuss it with anyone. 6, report immediately to the 767th MID. And it's got phone numbers on it for 24 hours a day, 766 MI detachment. Basically, subversion and espionage against the Department of the Army. Since we were in Berlin, Berlin was an open city. And so therefore, spies would try to recruit, or people would try to recruit you to betray your country. So basically what they're trying to tell you is that if you get approached on the street, don't commit to anything, but try to remember all the details. Try to remember what the guy looked like, what he offered, everything else, and then you're supposed to either call or hurry yourself to the office. I will have an incident later on in my career, but that was when I went to Korea, but it wasn't a subversion or espionage. But I'll talk about that when I get there. So that is it for show and tell, and I'm still looking for my graduation photo from GAFB, from Goodfellow Air Force Base, when I graduated from AIT. I keep finding more and more paperwork. I'll find it next month, I hope, because every January I go from top of the house to the bottom of the house and clean room by room and try to sort stuff. And you think after doing it 1 year, nah, but it's amazing what you put aside here and there throughout your house. So this is Chief, wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, and I hope everybody gets a shot and this COVID goes away. But always remember, freedom is not free. Thank a vet, elbow bump a vet, and if you can, if he's got a shot, you've got a shot, hug a vet. And I always thank people when they say thank you for your service. So thank them for your service. Chief out.